The best advice I can give is put your heart into it. If it's worth doing, it's worth doing it well and seeing what you can get. Challenge yourself. We're always looking for improvement. So I was in a car accident when I was 14. We were at the top of Hobble Creek Canyon. We rolled 75 feet off of a cliff. I was thrown from the vehicle. I completely shattered my L1 vertebrae, class 5 laceration in my liver, broke 9 ribs, and punctured and collapsed my right lung. It took 8 hours for help to find us. They took us to the Utah Valley Hospital first and gave blood and figured out the extent of the injuries, and then life-flighted me to LDS Hospital in Salt Lake and did my liver surgery the first night. The next night they flipped me over and did the back surgery and stayed there for about a week, and then took me back down to Utah Valley for the spinal care rehab. I stayed there for a little over a month and was sent home. Did some physical therapy afterwards, but there wasn't much movement, not much feeling at that point. And over the years, it's slowly progressed down the legs, and I've gotten more and more back as the years have gone by. It's been almost 20 years now. There's still improvement coming back. When I first started coming here, I got a total hip replacement, and working with you, and I think your words were, okay, if the strong muscles are good, let's see what we can get the weak ones to do, which was amazing for me because I've never had a physical therapist do that.
That's fine. So Joni was always a pleasure to work with. The big thing that always struck me as I worked with you is you were game for anything. You never said, oh, that's too hard. You never said, oh, I can't do that. It was always, okay, let's try and see what happens. And so we were able to find the weak muscles, like you said, find those ones that hadn't been used in 20 years, had atrophied away, but were starting to get some neural connection and start challenging those muscles. I was always impressed with you in the way that you would go home and you would keep trying to work. You would go home and you would start doing research on your own to figure out new ideas of different things. I'll forget the day you came to me and you said, hey, what about the idea of using steroids to help get these muscles to come back faster? And we were able to start getting Dr. Shamo involved in that and doing those things to bring in every option we could. And the fun thing with working with you was I could always look forward to seeing how hard you wanted to work and how much progress you wanted to make. You weren't coming to therapy to just get it done. You were coming to therapy to see what you could do and to constantly challenge yourself. And I think that's why you made the progress that you did, is why you're still making progress.
Over the past 20 years, nobody's told me about any programs and things that are available for people that are in wheelchairs to still be able to get out and be social and have life. So I did go and compete in the Miss Wheelchair Utah pageant. I joined the Chairbound Sportsmen and been out on the hunt with them. It was a lot of fun. I plan on going on the fishing during the summer that they do. There's just so many programs that are available that people just don't know about. You can get a free fishing license for life. You can get licensed to shoot from the vehicle so that you don't have to get out before you take your shot. There's just so many options out there that people need to be aware of, because life doesn't end when you're in a wheelchair. So
for some of our people who might be watching the video, where they might be in a wheelchair themselves or have family or no friends who might be in a wheelchair, what are some of the places they can look to learn of some of those resources that you have?
So Chairbound Sportsman does have a Facebook page. Miss Wheelchair Utah also has a Facebook page, but I'm currently trying to build a website that will contain all of these activities and programs and everything in one location for everybody in Utah, that they can utilize to explore their interests. So I just barely started back to school in January. I'm going to get my bachelor's degree in software engineering to help with the website. So far, being in a wheelchair doesn't seem like it's caused any bumps so far. The 20 years since high school might have, but...
Yeah. And here in the last, year or so, you got to where you get your driver's license back and you modified your car so you can drive?
It's been great. It's offered a lot of freedom that I didn't have before, and it's been a good experience. So
we've talked a lot about how therapy was a lot of hard work for you. But what were some of the more fun things that you did while you were here?
Well, you were always fun. You can give as well as you can take, and we've had a good relationship. I think over the years, just you challenge me and I'll push you back, but I'm always game for whatever you throw at me.
So when you first started coming back to therapy, how much were you able to move your legs on your own, try to stand and do those things?
Standing I could do some as long as I was holding on to something for the balance. The quads have always were the first ones back, so they are my stronger muscles. And through therapy, the backs of the legs, even the calves have muscle structure now that never have in the last 20 years. It's always getting stronger, always getting more, and it's just been exciting to see what happens. If I end up walking, that's great. If not, it's great too. This is my life. I know how to live it. If I can improve it, that's what I'm after.
Excellent. And so this treadmill doesn't have a motor. That tread moving underneath Joni's feet, that's all her and her power that she's developed in her legs.
A good way to beat out some aggression.